We are live. It is 3:04 Central Standard Time in the United States, 9:04 BST in the UK. This is the Nomad Tech Project with Sam and Joe.
Hey.
Coming to you live this 25th day of August 2024. How the hell is everyone? If you're watching the stream, good. You will notice that TK is not here. He was scheduled to be here today. However, he had something come up, family emergency or something else that he needed to have some more time to kind of control and handle. So we will have him on hopefully next Sunday. That's 3 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock BST. Life happens, and we TK is a top chat, and he's welcome to come on anytime. And so it's okay. Kind of disappointing because I was really looking forward to picking his brain. He hasn't been on the show in a while, so I was kind of disappointed to not have a chance to talk to him. But hey, that's okay. We'll talk to him next week. So that'll be pretty good. So we're looking forward to that. Anyway, so we are now all the embargoes are over for the Pixels, right? So everybody's talking about it and everybody's got their opinions. But honestly, the only opinion we really care about here on the Nomad Tech Project is Joe. He did a thing. Joe did a thing. Yeah, he's got the 9 Pro XL, and he also did some unboxing. He kind of got into some content, so that was kind of cool. Yeah. So what's that all about, man? It's good to see that again. I kind of missed you kind of getting in the saddle again. So that was cool.
Do you know what? My Pixel arrived and I was at work, and obviously I was itching to get home and play with it, but I was in all day that day. So I got home and I thought, right, have my dinner first. Let me watch some TV. I thought, no, I'm not going to play with it while watching TV with the missus. So watch some TV, and I thought, you know what? I might just do an unboxing. Just randomly, didn't prepare for it or anything. Quickly got my ring light and I banged it out really quickly, actually. It's only a short. It's quite quick. I even the editing did my usual humour in there as well. Tried to. I thought, you know what? This has spurred me on to try and get some more content done. So I'm gonna try. This has been said before, though, Sam. Right? I've said I'm gonna do more content before, but yeah, I am planning to. And thank you to everyone who liked it. And viewed it. We had over 4,000 views on it, which is
pretty awesome.
Pretty awesome, yeah. Between mine and Lenny's one, we had over 10k, nearly 10k views, which is fantastic on 2 little shorts in a short space of time. So that's really nice. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and did I see Alex from XDA finally did a video on the Pixel Flippy Boy? Did not. I didn't know that Pixel had a Flippy Boy. I guess they have a Foldy Boy, but not a Flippy Boy. Maybe he talked about it. I don't know. I did not. So Jimmy, we'll have to look that up. I did not see that.
They haven't got a Flippy Boy.
Yeah, but I mean, maybe he was talking about the Flippy Boy. I don't know.
I think he must mean the foldable. Maybe.
I don't know. We'll see. Happy Sunday. Oh, he talked about the rumors around it. Hey, Simon's in the chat, and Shark. He is joining us. Hey, good to see you, Shark. Welcome. Thanks for watching and coming in. He said he talked about rumors around it. Yeah. So I think that would be interesting. I didn't confirm this. I just kind of go ahead.
Him capturing 2 phones. I like to call him that. After
to his face.
On the plane.
To his face.
To his face. During his interview, he mentioned the Flippy Boy, didn't he? About doing a Flippy Boy, and they said they don't see a market for that. So they sort of gunned it down. They don't see themselves in that segment because there's quite a lot of competition already, they said. So that's why I don't see that happening.
Yeah, there's a lot of competition in the foldable too. Like you have all the Chinese foldables, and then you got the Samsung with 6 iterations of it. But okay, sure.
I guess they're talking about the UK, the US market when they answered that question, like saying there's a lot of competition for because there's a few flippy dippies in the US, right? But not as
well. Really, you've got you have the Samsung and the Motorola Razr. That's what you have. That's it.
I guess.
So I don't know what the hell they're talking about. I guess they're talking about.
I guess they got their Flip 2.
I guess they're talking about yeah. I guess and I guess they're thinking about like the Xiaomi and the Vivos and stuff, but they're not in the U.S. market. They're not available here.
But they also have foldables, so yeah, I'm not sure.
Right. I whatever. Again, like I said, it's one of those things where this is why I'm glad I'm probably not a investigative journalist or just a journalist in general or a tech person, because I would have just said, I don't know what you're talking. If you're talking about the U.S. market, there's only two flippables, right? There's the Samsung Flip, and then there's the Razr. You guys jumped into a foldable market when that thing's got market. Okay, sure, whatever. I just would. These companies are so full of crap. Some of these people and these marketing people are just so full of it. They have their talking points. They will not answer any questions because they're not allowed to, and they say stuff that makes no logical sense at all. Like some statement like that.
If they're talking about competition, right? They've made the foldable more mainstream now, haven't they, with the design, like pretty much like all the others. Whereas, weren't it better to have a more niche product that was a different aspect ratio? Like, for all the faults the first one had, that aspect ratio was quite cool, wasn't it? It was different.
Yeah, and I liked. I still to this day, I still really it's refreshing to get out and get the Razr, and I can just fold it up and use the outside screen if I want to look at a quick message or whatever. I really enjoy that, and I'm probably not. And I guess when they talk about the segment, I guess I may not be what they're thinking of. I think for some reason, I don't know if this is true. I don't think it's true, obviously, for me. I think they see that segment of flippables as like more of a female segment, like women would gravitate to a flippable. And I don't disagree with that, but I just don't think that's the only place that anybody would buy like me. I clearly bought a Razr, right? And the funny thing is, back in the day, people had Razrs, the old Razr, right? The old Moto Razr. Everybody had that phone. That wasn't women had that phone, guys had that phone. That adults had it, younger people had it. So I don't know.
If you go to anyone with a new flippable, say what does that make you think of? They'll say Razr.
Yeah, because that's basically what it harkens to. And then if you actually have a Moto Razr, and then it's cool because I think it's such a slick thing that Moto does, where they take that, you can make it look like the old Razr. It goes, hello, Moto, and you can actually make the screen look, and it actually kind of works a little bit.
Keyboard.
Yeah, and it actually, and it actually kind of works if you push up on the thing, and then it'll open up your dialer. It's kind of cool, and it looks just like the old Moto Razr. It's actually, I mean, obviously it's just a kind of a skin, and it doesn't stay like that when but it's kind of neat that they threw that little software thing in there, just a little harken to the old Razr. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, smart.
I thought so. So I think that I did notice that AT&T is not carrying the Fold 9 Pro Fold or whatever it is. So I thought that was interesting because I was considering maybe upgrading the Fold 5 and getting a hold of the 9 just as a more refined foldable product that has Google, obviously a Pixel. But they're not. So I'm not. And that's okay because I'm not spending $1,800. And I know a lot of people can do the stuff where I think somebody like Grant Does Tech or something did something where he traded phones in and got two, but it only cost him like $290, but he had credits and he was going back. Like, again, that's one of those things where if you can pull that off and you can get a phone, cool, go for it. I'm not going to spend the money.
Right? Is that worrying for foldables as a whole or for Google? Because if a carrier's not coming on board with it, that's not good.
I think it's bad for I think foldables are not going to be here in 5. I think they're going to dump them. I say that and it's a shame because I say that as a foldable user and a foldable fan. Yeah. I just don't see it. I just don't see people buying them in droves. I don't see, with the Pixel series. I mean, all the attention seemed to be on the standard, the 9 Pro. I think for most folks, that 9 Pro is probably where people are going to land. If you're going to get a full, unless you need the bigger screen or want the larger screen. Me, I've had the Pixel 8 and the form factor is great. I lose a little bit of screen. It's obviously not as big as obviously any other larger phone like the Pro, like the Pro version, or some of the offerings from OnePlus, with the 6.8 and that kind of thing. I just tell you, man, just whole, using it, I can kind of get it. I don't know. I just like the smaller form. So nice the fact that Google's came out with the 9 Pro, so you get all the Pro features, but you don't have to get a larger screen to get it. You can if you'd like to, as you got, and then so how long you've had? So you got your Fold, you've unboxed it, you've had it now for what? like 4 or 5 days. It hasn't been a week yet. I don't know if it's been a week.
No, it's only been a few days, isn't it? So it was on the 22nd I got
So
it. So
this is
um,
your full review of after 48 hours of using the Pixel.
yeah.
So what are the things that you really like about, like when you got out of the box, you unboxed it, you've used it for a few hours. What were the things that like immediately go, yeah, this is an upgrade. This is pretty slick.
I mean, I like the hazel color.
Mhm.
It's quite a clean looking device. But everyone's going crazy for they like this iPhone aesthetic, right? I actually would say I prefer the 8 Pro for the more curved back. Me personally, and I think that's goes against what most others are saying. I
Well,
like
I
the
think it's because I
camera.
guess other people really like the iPhone aesthetic, so that now
Mm,
aligns with that. That's probably why they like it. Um, I don't
yeah.
I don't know. I didn't have a chance to go hands on with the nines at all. I haven't had a chance yet. Um,
So they feel premium,
I
right? They
yeah,
feel premium, but I think what gets confused, people get confused by is bulky and slightly heavier doesn't mean more premium, because the 8 Pro is premium, right? Like,
yeah, I
but
think so.
what it is that feels lighter and it um, doesn't feel as solid as this, so people don't think of it as premium. But
Right.
that's a premium device. The 8 Pro is a premium device.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I do like it. I do like it. If you've got an 8 Pro, definitely don't upgrade. In my opinion,
Right.
don't bother. The 8 Pro is a great device. This is a refinement on the 8 Pro, but not enough to bother going for it, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Um, the ultrasonic fingerprint scanner is better. It's a refinement, but I never had a major issue with my 8 Pro.
I do on my 8. It's not. It doesn't fail a lot, but there are a lot of
Some
times
moments you
where
do, yeah.
yeah, there are times where I've got to fight it a little bit. It's not deal
Mm,
breaking and it's not terrible, but I do appreciate when I use. Obviously, well, actually, no. The funny thing that I think about it is the only phone that I use really. This is
yeah.
the only one that has an on-screen fingerprint reader. I just thought it just occurred to me, right? So because I've got Flippy Dippy, and it's got a, it's that's
Much
there,
better.
right? I
Much better.
agreed, right? I've got Fold, right? Fold.
Much better.
There you
Yep.
go, much better, right there, right? And um, I actually have one of these. It
That's
drives me
good.
crazy because it doesn't really work great. But again, there's your fingerprint reader right there, right? Okay, so that's a phone, right? Okay. Then I have
The Duo.
the Duo
There it is.
fingerprint reader on the side. So literally the only phone that I actually own, right, that has an actual on screen is the 8, and that's the one that kind of drives me a little kind of crazy. I don't like it.
Jimmy's
It's
question, the
okay.
ultrasonic is definitely better than the previous 7 and 8 Pro. That's definitely an upgrade. If you're going from a 7 Pro, the 9 Pro is worth getting.
Or even like a 6, obviously, right?
Or from a 6, definitely. But from an 8 Pro, no, not
So
worth it.
let's see. So I missed some of these comments. I go back a little bit. Captain's driving back from Kansas City, back into Kansas City. He's like, I'm curious what manufacturer phones have worked. I think they all kind of work well, unless you have AT&T, then they won't work. But if you have T-Mobile, I think they all work. I think most bands are there. You're going to have problems with what I used to have problems with my Chinese phones, like with my Xiaomi and the Huawei. Actually, funny, the P30 Pro or the P30 I never had a problem with it, notification wise. But it was always notifications. I always had on that Xiaomi, I had to fight that
Yeah.
thing all the time. And that's always a problem. I think if you have AT&T, you're kind of stuck. You're not going to get it to work. I'm sure you can go through all sorts of stuff that like Flossie Carter goes through and call them up and have it added. You could do all that. I just don't think it's worth it.
In a way, right? I experienced that with the Vivo with the notifications, right? But in a way, it was kind of nice because I'm on Telegram chats and they're popping off left, right, and center.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of nice that they weren't popping off on the Vivo, and I had to go into Telegram. It would give us the little badge to tell us that there is stuff there. I'd have to go into Telegram to look at the messages, And actually, that's probably, in a way, it's a better way. But yeah, you do miss some notifications that you actually want. So there's a downside as well.
Well, and also too, what I do on Telegram is because two of the chats I'm in, I love these guys, but man, it's all day long. They're talking all day long, and I just don't have the time to look. So I have them muted,
One
and
of
I
them's
go in
me.
there and yeah, no, not at all. But it's just so much activity in this chat. It's
Yeah,
kind of crazy.
it,
So
it
um,
pops off.
yeah, all the time. So
My
yeah, and
volume's
that's
low. Oh,
with Google, the whole
interesting.
pro moniker was mostly marketing gibberish until I agree, and that's what's kind of nice. But I do like the fact that they have the smaller phone with pro hardware features. That's pretty cool. Like that now
So
you have
apparently
a
my
proper.
volume's low.
Is it low?
Yeah, I wonder if that's the Vivo. They're saying
Might
something's
be.
different.
Is there a way you can? Well, how's your audio? I mean, as far as
Sounds
are
good
you
my
just using
end.
the phone to capture the audio?
Yeah, like I normally do. But the only difference is it's a different device.
Yeah.
Is everyone else experiencing me low then?
It was low when we started off, but I can hear you. But I mean, I guess for the audio, but yeah.
Because Simon said it sounds low. Yeah, let us know. I can change phone if we need to.
Right. You might have to do that. We'll have to kind of wait and see. Or you might just have to talk a little louder. Or maybe, I don't know if you get closer. I'm not sure if you can get.
I
Well, I mean, you don't want
this.
right up in it. Yeah. So,
Sorry.
okay. Anyway. So, yeah, I think, it's another one of those things where, Pixels come out. I think the 9 series is going to do well enough. But
yeah,
I think at the end of the day,
well.
it's, it'll do well. People who are Pixel fans are going to probably pick one up. And the ones that don't probably won't. And a couple of months from now, nobody will be talking about it. And then you could probably pick up some 9. There'll be some deals probably on the used market or whatever. Or you can probably pick up a really nice if you're in a 6 and you don't want to spend the money for the 9 and you want to get like an 8 Pro or even an 8. That would be maybe the time to snag it.
You can get an 8 Pro for now is ridiculous.
Right, and this goes to my further argument that I was making before about I really wish that I know why they can't, and I know why they're not going to. However, I think in every other year cycle, I think is more appropriate for these devices. And I really liked, and I don't know why. I guess Microsoft did it with Surface Duo, probably not because they wanted to, probably had it out of necessity. But it was nice having that gap where they had the original Surface Duo, and then the next one didn't come out for, I guess it was almost 18 months, right? And if they would have come out with the third version, which they aren't, every other year, it's like the problem is you get to these points where unless they radically change the phone, and even with Samsung, they aren't really radically, even from like the Fold 4 to the 5, even the change of the 6 where it's a millimeter on the outer screen. I wouldn't call that significant, right? And they're keeping the same camera hardware. It's just like, it's one of those things where try maxing out your StreamYard settings. Okay.
Yeah,
he's gonna try.
I can try. I think I have to leave and come back in to do that though. Let's have a look.
If that's the case, you can leave real quick and do what you got to do, and then have to listen to me by myself yammer on for a couple of minutes, which is sorry guys and gals, but if you have to listen to me talk. Anyway. Oh, she says, I bet Joe was louder yesterday when Troussard scored.
Yeah, that was very nice. Very, very nice. I was confident we was going to win that game, though, to be fair. I was always
wait, the Premiership's back. They started up already?
Yeah, didn't mate, they just... not much of a break. Not much of a break at all.
Jesus, did they just play all year?
Pretty much, yeah. That's why you need a fairly big squad, because people get injured because they're just playing too much football.
Yeah, well, if you're a British person, you can never play too much football. Anyway, so
that's it. That's right, Sam.
That's right.
British,
so
man, you know that.
Right, exactly. I'm just living in an American's body. Anyway, so it's interesting to see. I'm curious to see. But back to the foldable thing, I actually think that's kind of going. I think that's going to go bye-bye. I just don't think they're getting enough engagement, and a lot of people are just worried about. I think they're worried about durability. Most of the people that I talk to that have foldables, they, the ones that have the good, like in the OnePlus Open or a Pixel Fold, they're not opening it much at all. I mean, they're just basically mucking around with the outside screen. So it's like, well, if you're pretty much 70% of your time is spent on the outside screen, then why have the inside screen? And it truly doesn't multitask. I know everybody says, oh, you can do all these and I can do that, but when I open it up, it's just to make the screen bigger. I'm really not multitasking as near as much as I did on my Duo, because the Duo, when you open it up, it makes you multitask. It's when it opens up a window, it opens up on one side and the other side's still empty for the second thing you want to do, right? It doesn't open, it doesn't span across both screens. It's set up to basically,
I should be louder now, by the way. Good deal.
And Simon says he's one of the few that I've noticed. He says he uses opened up about 80%. I'm kind of with you. I'm about 75% of the time. It's very, very rare that I have my Fold 5 closed. Most of the time it's open.
That just made me laugh the way you said Simon says.
Simon says? Oh, yeah.
Simon says.
Yeah, touch your ear. Okay, yeah. So he uses his open more than 90%. He's like, he uses it a lot, and so most people don't. I think that's why they're just kind of like. And you're one of those folks that you had a Fold, you tried it out, you're like,
I can much,
I can kind of leave it, right? And I think that's where a lot of people are. I think the tech is cool. I think they buy it thinking they're going to use it, wind up not using it as much, and.
I was telling you before we started the show, Sam, there is one foldable that I'm quite excited about, and there's a video that I saw today that made me even more excited for it, and it's the Honor Magic V3. It's super thin, right? That looks beautiful. It's gonna have better cameras than what other folders have. But this video I saw, right, it's on GSM Arena, and like they froze it in a block of ice. They threw it in a washing machine. They threw it on the floor, smashing it about. They actually hammered in like a nail or something with it, and it survived. And it worked fine. Because one of my problems is durability. But seeing the stress test, if you like.
Your problem is durability, meaning you worry about the phone having a failure, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like with this stress testing, some normal slabs wouldn't survive that type of stuff.
Right.
But this Fold did a really good job, and it had dinks here and there.
Whatever you did, now there's static in your line. It's popping at the back.
No, that was probably picking up the tap from upstairs. My missus.
No, every time you're talking, it's.
Oh really?
Yeah.
Oh, excellent. This is going well.
Well, it's what happens when we knew a new phone who dis, right? And so Joe's gonna muck about, and then you're gonna get him up close.
How's it now?
Yeah, that's bad. Well, it's back to being quiet again. So did you have like echo cancellation? Are you messing with the settings?
That's.
Whoa! Go back to whatever you just did. Go back. Oh well, he just died, folks. Joe just left. He left the chat, and look now that he left, you can see my jacked up. I had my curtain, my stupid curtain that I use. Yeah, stupid, right? And then mom. That's mom right there. Okay, there we go. You're back.
Yeah, I never left.
Okay, I think you're good. That sounds pretty good.
Does it? I haven't touched anything.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, let's just stay with that. That sounds pretty good. Anyway, so
I'm pretty certain it was just the tap upstairs coming through on the mic.
Yeah. So anyway, no, when I did that, people could see this? Everybody could see my terrible setup with my curtain of death, right? It's so stupid. My curtain is stupid.
It's fine, mate.
Yeah. I don't care. I just I made this. I actually bought the fabric, and then I bought it was actually kind of cool. I think I cut the fabric, put a hole, and then you have these little the little washer things, right? It's got the inside and a little thing, and you just basically, and there's a tool, and you just basically put it through the hole. It's really cool. And you just kind of you squeeze it, and it kind of just locks it in place, and it makes a little island.
Yeah.
Dude, it's so great. And I made that. Yeah, I think the tool cost me like $5, and the eyelets are like a pack of 10 was like I think $3 or $4, and that fabric. I don't know. I don't know how much I paid for it. It's pretty cool. Yeah, you sound good now. Yeah, I think we finally worked out the audio. So yeah,
I didn't change nothing. I just left and came back, sort of.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we needed. Maybe you need to drop and come back in.
I didn't officially leave. Always here.
And let's see, Shark's got a comment. Foldables are absolutely not for everyone. If you're an
it's
average
true.
consumer with no real use case for a foldable mini tablet, you never want to spend. I get it. But I guess my question would be, let's say if the durability was there. So is it just durability or is it price and durability?
Oh, price as well.
Yeah,
And
I mean
if you
they're
put that
expensive.
together, if you don't want to pay a lot of money for something you're not certain is going to survive,
Right?
it goes
Yeah,
hand
I
in hand
get
as well, doesn't it?
Yeah, I totally get that, and I don't. Again, I just think at the end of the day, I think the foldable market's probably going to kind of dry up a little bit. I think that Samsung will maybe stay in it. Maybe some of the Chinese, maybe the Vivos would stay in. I think OnePlus will make another open, and I think that'll probably be it for them. I just, like I said, because you figure that's going to be 2 or 3 years from now. I just don't see a market for it. I think a lot of people just don't use their phone that way. Just now, they may in some point in the future. Let's say the tech gets better, or But the problem is now because foldable's not taking off. This is where I don't think Apple gets in the market of a foldable. I think they may go flippable. A flip iPhone, maybe an iFlip, possibly.
Maybe.
I think they're not going to touch a fold because again, it goes against their iPad sales, which doesn't make any sense. They don't have anything, right? And I think can you imagine how cool they're going to make a flippy dippy look if it's Apple, and all the people they're going to be like, oh hey, like, dude, they'll sell millions of them. Millions, I swear to God, because they won't care about durability because most iPhone people have a cracked screen anyway. Their phones are dropped or cracked or whatever. Like, they don't care. I'm telling you, man. But I think if Apple is going to get into any kind of a foldable market, they're going to go flippy. I think that's where they're going to go. And I think if they do, that's the only chance of foldables and flippables really kind of maybe becoming something that's a good form factor that people would want to gravitate to. Until then, on the Android side, I just think it's not going to work. I mean, I think that's part of the reason why. I think it's a slight reason why Microsoft, because they were talking about going to a foldable, right, with a screen. Again, they're like, well, there's already phones out there, and then now we have a durability problem. I really wish another company would pick up the dual screen, but I think they saw the way Microsoft handled it, which was pretty shitty because it wasn't made to run Android. It was made to run Windows. So,
was it?
You're right. It was original, and they had to throw it on there real quick and kind of had to throw it in there. And I think that Microsoft, I think if a company really would
because
do
of
it,
that, it's playing catch up, right?
They were, God, not only were they playing catch up, they were so far behind. It was almost in the world of software development. The fact that they could get that phone changed over to Android, get a build, and get a custom launcher to get it to work, and actually could get it to market where it actually kind of sort of worked, even with the bugs. I think people really are kind of, and this is, I guess I'm trying not to defend Microsoft here. I'm trying to defend software developers, right? The fact that Microsoft could get Windows off that shit can that idea, get it on Android, get a build, AOSP build it out, and then try to get that to work, deploy it, and get it working on hardware that wasn't designed to do in probably a year is completely bonkers. That's pretty nuts for software. Some of these phones take years of software development. And the fact that Microsoft could pull it off with the Duo is pretty remarkable. And then the fact that they came out with the other Duo, and here's the thing: people complain about the camera, so Microsoft actually the next iteration put a big camera module on the back. The problem is though it became where it wouldn't fold, right? So that's but they listen to people at least
fully, did
right. They didn't do it. Microsoft, and I have to give Pixel credit. There's a radical change between the Fold 1 and the 9 Fold Pro. Right, that's the camera housing's different. They improved a lot of other features with the hardware. A
lot of the things people complained about, they're fixed, right?
They addressed it immediately.
Yeah.
I just the thing that got what basically I think killed the Duo was a lot of people did not want to. Every time you want to use the device, you had to open it up. And here's the thing: watch how much people are on their phones now. It is mind-blowing. Just walk through any restaurant, grocery store, park. Everybody is on their phone. Anywhere. They're on their phone. And like I said, they might be on there for a reason. They may be taking a picture. They may be trying to capture a video of something they see. They may be trying to look up a direction for somewhere. They may be, somebody might be texting them, hey, are you coming? Are you still here? They may call them on the phone. They may, while they're waiting, right? It's nice now. Because now, you notice now that you don't care about waiting a little longer at a doctor's office or anywhere else because you got your phone with you?
Yeah.
And you know how many people actually probably have been watching something and the person came out, okay, you're next, sir. And they're like, hey, can you give me 5 more minutes? I'm trying to, like, I'm wondering how much that happens because it doesn't happen for me.
Oh, yeah.
But, yeah. And that's what I'm saying. But it's, you know, and so for the fact that the Duo didn't have an outside screen, but I always told people it's
that's
like.
That's where the Duo 1 was good because you could do that. And then it was like a normal phone.
This is, but I mean, you know how many times I had my Duo 1 and I had it like this in my pocket? It was actually, it was like this. It was open. So when I pulled it out, I didn't have to open, excuse me. I didn't have to open the phone. It was already in this orientation.
I'm not sure I would do that.
But why not? Oh, well, the front's got glass. Well, the back's got glass. Yeah. Well, who cares? Your phone, the back of your phone has got glass. Your 9 Pro is that
a crack in my ass of my Duo.
I got a crack too. I think they're like they're the iPhones of Android. They already come pre-cracked. They already have a crack across. Yeah, mine does too.
There's always hairline there, and it just
yeah. But then, like I said, I fixed that by going to extremeskins.co.uk and got myself a skin. No more crack. Son. Crack is whack, and if you have a crack that is whack, and you don't want to show it off, you can go to Extreme Skins and you can get a phone. If you don't like porcelain,
fill your crack.
Fill your crack. I don't know about that. However, it's nice. And if you don't like the color and you want to give it a little bit of extra flair, right? You also protect it. It doesn't get scratched up or all gets right. And then on top of that, if you do crack the device in the back and you don't want to kind of have to deal with the cracked back, you can put a skin on it, give it a little color. It's pretty nice. Skin your shit. Extremeskins.co.uk. Go check them out. Tuesdays, they have a buy one, get one. They got a bunch of new colors. They're pretty slick. I actually need to get a hold of one because I think I want to rock a skin my shit on my Pixel 8. I do like the porcelain though. I do like not porcelain. I do like the hazel. This color is pretty cool. I do like this color for a phone. This is good. Yeah, I like this. Yeah, I like this. Is white is okay. Black's not bad.
Quickly, your Duo's a USB-C port.
Is it cracked?
How's it looking?
No, mine's actually in pretty good shape. It's not cracked.
Yeah, mine's.
Oh man, here we go. I can't.
Not too bad.
To get it. Now this is not my first Duo. This is my second one. My first Duo, yeah, that thing cracked after.
This is not your first rodeo.
It's not my first rodeo. But yeah, after I think about like 7 months, that bottom end kind of snapped off. But it still worked fine. It was cracked. I didn't really care.
Michael said his bumper's still in his box. Yep, mine as well.
Yeah, I don't like the bumper for the now. Here's the thing when I had my Duo 2, I did use the bumper. It was an orange one. It was the black model, had an orange bumper. That actually the bumper on that one was pretty good. And then I actually when I was actually Scary of Little, Shane Craig actually had a giveaway. They were having those the cases. They were French leather, those leather cases.
Oh, No Rev.
The No Rev case. I got one and actually won that contest, and I still have that case because there's no way I'm getting rid of it. The only problem with that case is because of the way it was set up, you could only bend it about this far before like the straps wouldn't bend it because it would bubble in the back and would kind of like go across and you couldn't. So it was like you had to do one of these things. It was great if you didn't have to answer the phone. If you had to answer the phone, you'd be fucked. You would have, you know what I mean?
Your SIM's not going in that now, right?
I don't have the Duo 2. Remember, mine broke and I got rid of it. And I go on Swappa and I swear to God, those things cannot go under sub $700. Every time I see them, they're selling for $600, $700, $800.
Collector's item now.
Well, that's honestly the reason. Honest to God, if I could spend the money on a Duo 2, I would get one, and I'd probably daily drive that thing right now. I would probably daily drive it, and I did skin that shit. Yep, the bumper unused on the Surface Duo. Don't use the bumper because then the problem is it doesn't close flat, and it messes with the orientation. Then it gets all freaked out, doesn't know what it doesn't know if it's open.
The bumper's rubbish.
And and he sold his Duo, was afraid of it breaking. Well, it will break because the glass breaks. Mine's broken. I don't think there's any Surface Duo owners out there that don't have a crack on one of the back panels. It just is. Scoop in the chat. Yep. That's one of the best sports photographers I know. I don't know many, but he's really, really good. Just check out his channel, Bionic Scoop. Go check out his stuff. Does really good. It's really good.
I don't know many.
I don't know many, but Scoop's really good.
It's the best I know. I don't know many.
Some of the pictures he takes at that wrestling, they are so done. I don't even know how he pulls it off.
They're hard shots.
Well, because that's movement, right? Because people, and it's wrestling. People are flying around and jumping off turnbuckles and shit. It's crazy. Some of those.
It's not just the movement.
Pictures
it's the detail he gets in their faces sometimes.
Right, and just the angle and the lighting and just they're amazing. Like if you like sports photography, I'm a big sports fan. If you do, I know everybody's like, well, it's wrestling. It's not really sport. It kind of is because they are phenomenal. If you ever, well, I'm sorry. I didn't come out right. I apologize. I don't know many sports photographers like personally. Like I don't talk to many of them. But it's really, really good. I mean, so if you're into like seeing sports photography in a martial arts or like a MMA or like a wrestling kind of thing where it's not like baseball and stuff like that.
Well.
Right. Well, because in baseball, at one point when they're waiting for the pitch, the players are kind of standing still, like at least the batter, right? Everybody's so you kind of, and you also, because you know what's happening, you know the timing of it. You can kind of, okay, I know, all right, the pitcher just received the ball. Okay, he's going to set up for his pitch. You can kind of frame those shots. Same thing in football, American football, right? They line up to scrimmage, they go to a huddle. You can kind of get shots. When you're dealing with stuff like wrestling or boxing or anything like, they're constantly in motion, so you can't really go, well, I know in about 10 seconds this guy's going to throw an uppercut or a right hook, or he's going to grab the guy and throw him over his shoulder. You don't know that. So, and that's it. Check them out. Go on Instagram, the Bionic Scoop.
On IG.
And he has a smug, I don't know what smug mug is. I guess it's like a picture thing. Is it kind of like a picture repository? I guess that's what it is. I don't know. I've never heard of smug mug, but that's kind of a cool. I actually should just check it out because it's a cool name. But
let's just get it on the screen.
He sells prints. Oh, okay. So that kind of what was the thing my ex-wife used to do? Was it Snapfish or Shutter? It was where you would take pictures and then you can upload them and then you could get actual photographs and they would send them to you. I can't remember the name of it. Oh, that was called like Shutterfly.
There's one we do called Free Prints.
Right. I think it's called Shutterfly or something like that, where you could take pictures and you upload them to their website and they would send you whatever size you want and all that kind of stuff. So, yeah. And if you want to buy some prints, check them out. Some of those really good shots. Go to Smug Mug, and I'm assuming it's the same handle. Look for Bionic Scoop, and you'll find them and purchase some of his pictures. I've actually considered doing that. I got all sorts of sports stuff here in the office on the walls. I'm not exactly a wrestling fan, but I mean, the pictures are amazing. I mean, just for the fact that just the photography alone is fantastic.
Yeah, the characters he's working with as well is really cool.
Yeah, it's a good thing. And so Scoop's a good dude. He's a fan of the show. We love Scoop. He's a good dude. And so go check him out on Instagram and maybe go over to Smugbug and buy a print if you're inclined, if you find something that works for you. So anyway, like I said, so yeah, I really don't know what the state of foldup is going to be, but if I were a betting person, if I were putting my own money on it, I would say probably in 5 to 7. Most companies are probably going to kind of move away from. They may stay with the flippy dippy. I don't know if Motor. I don't know if it would be Moto. They may stay with the Razor because I do think the Razor. I think they do sell a decent amount of Razors, but obviously it's more expensive.
Sam, what if someone sort of thought, right, folder was not quite working, but people like having 2 screens? Do you think like the Duo could make a comeback, but from a different company?
Oh yeah. Oh god, yeah. I really wish that one of these companies would take it. But the problem is, I think because
who would be that company to do that?
The only company that would really do it probably would be Samsung or a Chinese manufacturer like a Xiaomi would do it or something like that. I think because of the failure. Yeah. I think the failure of the Duo really kind of like, because here's the thing. We like the Duo. We've used it, but how many people are really going to use a Duo? I mean, seriously. I mean, yeah, I don't think it was price. I thought the price was high, but it wasn't terrible. I don't think it was usability. I think I'm sorry, the software where I think was pretty good. I think is because in order to use the device, you had to open it up. And that was the main complaint I always heard is every time you have to do this, right? You have to open it up. Yeah, and people don't want to do that. They just want to if they want a quick message, they just want to open up their phone. They want to look at the message real quick, see the thing, maybe quickly respond to the thing. I mean, and that's all they want to do.
I've always seen it, Sam, as a companion device, as like, I'd never make it my main phone, I don't think. But as a companion device, kind of, I prefer using it to even my S8 Ultra often. Because shopping on here while I've got Telegram on the other screen, or
reading a book. If you have Kindle,
I don't read books.
The Kindle app on this phone is so good. Mm-hmm. It turns like pages. I mean, it's literally this. You know what this would be? This would be like another version of like a Kindle reader. Like I could see Becky. She has is it a Kindle or a Nook? I think it's a Nook. But what happens is her mother buys books, so she'll get notified, and they have to have a shared account, or I don't know how it works, whatever. And then Becky reads, and it's just the regular. It's just the paper white. It's just it's kind of backlit or whatever.
It's a great holiday companion, right?
Yeah, dude, I'm telling you, it's a really good, especially if you're doing like research on something, like if you're looking at a price on Amazon, but you want to look at another website and you're kind of going back and forth, or like sometimes what I would be doing is I would be reading an article, but I want to quickly check the score of something. So I'll just go and I'll open up the second screen. I'll just open up the score and I go, oh, okay. Or sometimes I've been reading something and kind of just looking it over, just kind of, and then want to watch at the bottom end of an inning of a Cardinal game or something, just switch it over, go to Fox, just boom, run up, and then just run it on the screen. And then it's so much, again, it has so many different really good use cases, not even business use cases, but things that people do. It's a shame. It just is really a shame that Microsoft is the only one that did it, and I knew they weren't going to stay with it. And they didn't tell anybody about it. It's like, if you would just tell people it exists, they may not have sold many more units, and maybe, it still would have they would have dumped the program. But God, I mean, if you don't tell anybody about it, it's just such a shame. And some of these, the hinge, dude, the engineering on this device is so awesome. It's just ridiculous. Microsoft engineers, their hardware engineers, there's no other device that I've ever used that has, I mean, look, and this Duo I've had for over a year. When I open it up, it doesn't make, look, it doesn't move.
Anyone you show it to, they're like,
it doesn't move.
Wow.
Look, and then when I open it up, there's no creaking, there's no popping, it doesn't do anything. It holds orientations all the way to this. Look how and it's still got the peak display. I love that too. That's kind of cool. Yeah. Right, but look how close I can get this, and it's still just closed. So I got it to about right there. It is still holding. It's not closing on its own.
Mine's not closed there, look.
Right. I mean, you could really get this thing down to like that. That's not closed.
Yeah.
And then also this never gets old when you're done with something, and how many times when you're done with something and you go like this? It just never gets old. It's so good, man. It's just so good.
We wonder how we got cracks in it.
Well, I mean, on the old one that I was getting rid of, I really took it and I went as hard as I could. I went, God, and and it doesn't. But just, when you're using it, you're doing your thing real quick, you just go, Yeah.
And
another thing that's really cool is when you use this in public, people are like, literally their mind is blown. They have no idea. They're like, what is that? Is that a phone? And I go, no, it's actually it's a device that has a phone in it. You can make phone calls, but it's really just for multitasking and using Android. And they're like, dude, that thing is incredible. I go, I know. Now you may not use it and it's cool, but when you show it to people, it warps their head, and then they think, oh well, shit, my phone can't do any of that kind of stuff, right? I don't know.
I feel like we should go back to Pixel before we end this. Right, we've got a little while left.
Let's catch up with some comments. We got comments all over the place. I'm not a fan of wrestling because
stuff.
Right. Oh yeah.
Go on.
Yeah. Well, back when I was, back in Judea, back in the days, I did, it's the gladiators. I'm not a fan. It's not real. It's not real, right? They don't have swords. There's not claws or chainmail. I don't really care. Or having a trident. Yeah, that's fine. I love you, Aditya. He's going to take that old shit. He's going to run that joke for the rest of his life. God love him. He's in it to win it. Love Aditya. The cheaper Moto Razor at a viable price for fanboys and girls. Now, I guess I'm not a girl, so I has to be a fanboy, right? Yeah, so no, it's okay. Fire, yeah, duos for e-reading, absolutely. Never put taking a SIM out of Duo. Never put a SIM card in it. Yeah, e-reader or a tablet. Of course, I didn't pay. Yeah, and I didn't grab it. The first one I did, and I got right. And the second one, I actually traded my original Duo in and got it for I think it was like $940 is what I got the Duo 2 when I bought it at Best Buy. Which was weird because I tell you that story. There was a guy ahead of me. There was a 128 and a 256 kid. They all had two in the store when it launched. There was the guy right. I swear to God, the guy right in front of me was buying the 256 version. No, he's buying the 128. I had to buy the 256. I didn't want to spend the money. There was a guy, literally the two people in that Best Buy bought the only Duos that ever probably launched with, and they were sold within 20 minutes. And it was me and this other guy right in front of me buying one. It was actually kind of interesting. Yeah, I get it. And that's why if you follow real quick, if you follow Gustav Muntz, he's got Windows 10 on ARM running on a Duo, and that's a project. Check that out. It's pretty wild. And then they also have a build of 14. No, he said, don't hate on my costumed murder gymnastic. Yes, that is probably the best 3 words to describe professional wrestling I've ever heard is costume murder gymnastics. That is fantastic. I'm going to use that. I don't know where. I don't know when.
CMG.
CMG, the costumed murder gymnastics. That is great. That should be a new Olympic event. I would be okay with that in their Olympics. Better than that break dancer from Australia. Holy shit, Bowie. That was terrible to watch. God, that was miserable. Anyway, good point, Joe, on the idea of having 2 phones like Microsoft do. Yeah, again, a companion device. I think that's a great point, and I think that's kind of what you have to do. A lack of a front display of subpar cameras. Yeah, if you had Gcam, and then even with Gcam, it was the video was not good. The lamest thing was when the content creators would try to watch a movie by span. Oh yeah, don't watch content with a span across. It's stupid. Get the big bar in the middle. That's not how it works. V60 school screens. Agreed. The V60.
I always wanted to try that.
God, it was great. I had one. I love that V60. It just was really bulky to use every once in a while, but it was nice because you could just take the screen off.
I don't think it came out in the UK V60, did it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Don't think it did.
No, I don't think so. I'm not sure.
No,
a computer with dual monitors. Yep, absolutely. Steroid-driven soap opera. Oh, yeah, okay. That's cool. Yeah, okay, good. So we caught up with comments. So let's go back to the Pixel. Sorry, guys. I just want to make sure everybody's got great comments today. Everybody's super engaged. I just want to make sure that I get everybody accounted for and we check out on everybody. So sorry.
Absolutely, yeah. So I wanted to ask you, is all this AI stuff, right? I really feel there should be some kind of watermark or something to indicate that AI is being used.
Yeah, something that says, it's been generated by AI or AI enhanced, something in the bottom. Yeah, I think that should, because, I agree. I mean, so, expand on that thought because I think I know where you're going. So with that.
Well, the reimagine feature is brilliant, and the things you can create with it, it's really cool. I love it. It's brilliant. I think it's a really nice tool for people. But then people are going to go out and put it as their pictures that they've gone out and snapped. And in some cases, they can probably get away with it, especially on Instagram, which is kind of wrong. But with the add me feature, right, you could see, I don't know, see a celebrity in the street, right? You could take a picture with them. They might agree to it. And then they could walk off. Or you could take a sneaky shot, actually. They might not agree to it. And then you can get your friend to take a picture of you next to them and add yourself.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, there are definitely a lot of really creative and kind of really unfun and kind of there's a lot of ways that this can be manipulated.
There's cringe ways people could do things with it. Right?
Yeah, and welcome to humanity. Humans are gonna find ways to fuck up everything. They will find a way to screw up everything because humans, right?
Yeah,
and that sucks. But I mean, and I get that, but there's really no way. I don't want the technology to be hamstrung or not be developed because you're going to have a subset of people. But that's what we have to do. I think that's part of. And this is a small rant. You're just going to have to live with this for the next couple minutes. But I think that's part of the reason why we have such a problem because we have had, I mean, look, 35 years ago, like go back to the 90s, go back to like 1991. I was a kid, right? Now I was, I was in high school. I was a sophomore in high school. The Berlin Wall had just fallen in 1989, which I thought never would happen. I actually watched the Berlin Wall come down, which is wild, actually. And then 1991, we had the Gulf War, right? The first one, right? And that was 1991. And it's funny, go back and watch like videos of stuff in the early 90s. Look how far we've come just in 10 years. But go back like 25 years, right? And I think the problem is all this technology is going so lightning fast as far as capability.
Yeah.
I mean, and the problem is I don't think us as people have kind of learned how to live inside of what the societal acceptance is. I think that makes sense, right? So, like, there are people like you brought up a point. You see a celebrity. He may be standing at somewhere where you can take a picture. Either it's a picture that, it's a picture that they know you took, or that they're unknown that you took. And then you can take it and you can tell all your friends, oh, I met so-and-so. Here we are. We got a selfie together. We got a picture together. Yeah. And you clearly did not do that. And then on top of it, you go a step further, not just tell all your friends and family and just your local group. You actually post it on Instagram. Look, I ran into Paul Rudd, for instance, right? Yeah. And you didn't run into Paul Rudd. It's horse shit. And there's nothing that makes it look like now I did see that Marquez did a thing where he had where you can see if you do some pixel peeping, you can kind of see where the admin is coming in.
You can as well.
And I think people will do that because one thing I do know about people is if people are trying to bust somebody on shit, some of these people are some goddamn Inspector Clouseau, Inspector Gadget, some fucking Sherlock Holmes looking. I mean, these people go out of their way to try to nail people to the cross, right? They try to like, well, fuck that. We went, and trust me, people, when they're looking to hammer somebody, they will go to no end of investigative ends to find you. So I think that's where it is. But I agree, there should be some, and I think as that technology happens and as people kind of get aware of it and companies kind of start to go, hey, look, if you use AdMe, there's going to be something either in an actual watermark on the picture or in the metadata that says that this picture has been enhanced or has been modified or has been changed in some way. Yeah. So it's clearly obvious because think about it, you're thinking about it from a perspective of, seeing a celebrity. I'm thinking more about a perspective of a criminal act or somebody who puts somebody in a scene that doesn't belong there. Oh, right. Yeah. You take a picture of a scene and you want to add like something. There's loads of ways you can use it to be nefarious and criminal about it. And there has to be a way for law enforcement or people to see, hey, this picture has been modified. This picture has been altered. This picture has been AI generated. There has to be something that indicates that happens. Because if you don't, you're going to run into a lot of problems. And I think that's where law enforcement and society is trying to kind of catch up and stay in pace with all the ways that people are going to use this tech. And I think they're just going to have to, it's going to lag behind. Go to bed, Aditya. Have a good night, sir. His meds are kicking in. So hopefully you're feeling well. Maybe they're just hopefully not sleeping meds. Maybe you got a cold, or apparently COVID's going around bigger than shit here in the United States. Apparently people are getting all fucked up on
monkeypox as well, isn't there?
Yeah, it's monkeypox, and there's the herpetogonosyphilis or whatever it is. Who knows? So get some sleep, and I think Jimmy, he's going to take off. He's going to be on Juan's stream. I'm just kidding. He meant Juan's. I get it. It's okay. So like I said, I agree with you. I think there should be something that indicates that it's AI generated or AdMe has been something that lets people know that the photo or the video has been altered in some way. Yeah, I think that would be. I think that would be
great that we're getting it. It's great that we're getting it though,
dude. I think it's the AdMe feature. I think that's so slick. Because how many times has there been a situation where you want to be in the picture with somebody, but you have to take the picture? So this gives you a chance to be in the picture if it's just you and one other person, right? It's kind of nice. I don't know. Maybe I'm a Pollyanna, but I think a lot of people would really like to have that capability so they can. Oh, you're staying. Well, good. Then please stay. Gotcha. I think he's talking to Aditya.
Yeah, he's saying goodbye to Aditya. Yeah.
This is what happens when you don't read English real well. Sorry, Jimmy. I'm an idiot. Carry on. Anyway, but I think people would really like to have these features. I think it's kind of cool because it's cool. Like some of the other things, and also,
well, this is how Google are marketing the phone, right? These features.
Yeah.
Because they are going to.
David Hasselhoff live streaming the Berlin Wall falling. Oh yeah, that was crazy. The Hoff, like Hasselhoff. So David Hasselhoff apparently I don't know about now, but back in the day, the Hoff, super popular in Germany. I don't know why. Germans love, and maybe because maybe Hasselhoff's a German name. I don't know. Germans love them some David Hasselhoff, dude. Back in the day, the Hoff was the fucking shit, right? He was the jam. And
he
so
was popular everywhere,
he was,
really.
I mean, live streaming. I mean, doing a live feed at the Berlin Wall. It's so, just watch. It's so crazy because I kind of like being old for this one reason. I saw all these events happen live, things that and things that you don't even know happened. But I remember being a kid living knowing there was a Berlin Wall. There was an East and West Berlin. And watching people trapped behind the wall in a Soviet-controlled block, like the Warsaw Pact. Dude, it was crazy. Like people go, "Oh, the world's so fucked now." It's like, dude, you weren't alive in 1984 because this world, especially in Europe, was fucked. I mean, it was like, Berlin was cut off by a wall. It's nuts, right? And then just the fact that one day the Soviet Union just went, it just 1991. Oh, we're done. Yeah, fuck it, we're out of here, right? It just dissolved. It just they knocked the wall down. All these countries finally said no for this bullshit. We want to have our own elections, and it's crazy. Anyway, but yeah, so that was and Shark and I are old, so we kind of remember all this stuff. So I like how people like to bitch about different phones and then bemoan the manufacturer league. But yeah, exactly. Oh, speaking of that, you know what I think is the best phone as far as whole feel in the hand was the HTC One M8. I wish phones would go back to having an actual curved.
That's what I mean, yeah.
No, not a Pixel 8. I'm talking like an actual curve.
Yeah,
like the HTC.
I get you.
Yeah, dude, those
flat screen still, right?
Yeah, flat screen, curved back, but also. I want to go back to the days where you could have a good phone spec and hardware wise was a premium phone, but having a polycarbonate or aluminum back, right? It doesn't have to be glass in the back. Yeah, you lose wireless charging, but not really, because I think didn't the company figure out a way to kind of have a spot inside of the metal where they had the ability to have a wireless.
Remember the Pixel 5 had a metal frame, but they had to cut out that part where the wireless charging coil was.
But I'd be even willing, but like I said, my old 1520 has wireless charging. It has polycarbonate backing, dude. I think we talk, I don't want to hear people complain about durability of their phones and then about a foldable and then have a glass back. It's like, if you really cared about I want to go back to the days where
sandwich.
A glass, dude, I'm telling you, I have not ever used a case for my Fold 5.
Yeah.
Ever. I put the skin on it.
Because it adds a lot of bulk, right?
Well, I did buy the Samsung case with the S Pen, but I don't use the S Pen that much. But yeah, it's because of the way it is. It's two clamshells, and it just always felt. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel. Yeah. It wasn't super thick. It just didn't feel. It didn't feel ergonomic to me.
Every phone, I wish I could have the balls to not have a case, because.
And actually, I did on my Flippy Dippy. And I did drop it a little bit, and it kind of scuffed the frame right here. There's a little scuff here, and there's a scuff there. I didn't drop it hard. I dropped it on some concrete, but it was only like a half a foot. It was bending down, and it kind of fell on my hand. I tried to grab it, and it kind of hit the ground and scrubbed it up. But I've never used a case on my Flippy.
Guys, right? Durability test on his Flippy Dippy, and it passed.
Yeah. I would agree, and I think you should have a David Hasselhoff's music career took off in Germany. Yeah, it was a music career, but dude, like, he would go to Germany and they would, like, it was nuts. People loved David Hasselhoff in Germany. I guess he had music. I never listened to any of it, I'm sure, but okay. And then clear case. If you're gonna get a case, get a clear one like Joe got. Especially if you have a color you like. I mean, it kind of makes me mad because I got this. This came when I bought the phone. It had this MagSafe. You know what's funny? I don't have a MagSafe charger. I've never used it. But yeah, dude, it's I don't know. I don't like the camera housing. The more I look at it, I like the way that this.
I do like
the visor where it goes all the way. It goes into the chassis. See how it doesn't go? It stops. There's that gap there between the chassis side. And I like the fact that this went all the way and it kind of attached to the chassis. I like this camera better than just having a pill on the back. I don't dislike it. Yeah, I don't dislike it. I like
Prefer
the
the
visor that goes into that
organic.
flood goes right into the chassis, like on the OnePlus 12, right? It goes
Yeah,
right into the
I love
side.
that as well.
I think that's a good look. I just when I have my foldable in my, it's just like eh, it just feels like it's stuck it on the back. I don't know. It just doesn't. I don't
Do you
think
know
it
one thing
looks
I've
as good.
seen people complaining about that the camera juts out a lot, and it's like, do you want to have better cameras, bigger sensors? Because if you do, that's kind of what needs to happen. There's loads of people
Yeah,
complaining about camera bumps getting too big. It's like, well, if you want better cameras, that's what they're going to have to do.
right. Although I
You
remember the
dumbass.
LG, the G8 have and
Mm.
the having really good cameras on the V60. That camera housing was really minimal. And
Mm.
I thought the V60's cameras for the time were pretty capable. I thought they took pretty good pictures. LG did, as far as
So you either
as
have
far
to
as that
have
I
a
saw.
camera bump or a thick device.
Right. Well, you know what? Honestly, I think I would take a thicker device. I really
Yeah.
the device thinness has never been a thing for me because also you can get a better battery in that. I'm okay with a thicker device if you're going to make the camera housing more minimal and it gives you a better capacity battery.
It's
I'm
not an issue
okay
for
with it.
me. Like my Vivo, right?
Mhm.
I kind of it's like a little shelf. So when I'm holding
Yeah.
it, like the camera goes on the top finger there, and it helps me
Right.
support. So it's not all on my pinky, right?
Oh,
It's
okay.
being
I get
supported
you.
by yeah,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
kind of like the camera housing for
You
that.
kind of got
It's
well. I
quite
think you've got you. Well, same thing here. When I've put when
yeah,
I
yeah,
hold the
yeah,
phone, you kind of put your finger kind of on this
yeah.
corner right here, and you kind of
So
use
rather
this
than
as
your
kind of
pinky taking all the weight, you can kind of
right. Well, hell, half the time I don't know about you, but when you hold your phone, do you always have your pinky at the corner like this? I don't
yeah,
always. Sometimes I hold the phone like this.
yeah.
You see where
That's
my
how you
hands at?
dropped your flippy dippy, mate.
No, gravity is how I drop. Fuck you, asshole. No, I'm just kidding. No, I just sometimes I just notice if I'm using
I think
if
I
I'm
do.
using if I'm on a call, it's weird. So if I'm on a call,
You
my
do.
pinky's on the bottom. But if
Yeah.
I'm just using it to I'm doing this, da 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 da, my hands, it's never on the bottom. It's right here. And I
Yeah.
actually have put my finger, it kind of sits right where that underneath that camera housing. It sits right there. So it kind of, I
Sits
mean, I
there,
can
yeah.
kind of, yeah. I mean, I just noticed that I don't always have my pinky underneath the phone when I'm using the phone. I think that's just a me thing. It's just my ergonomics. I don't know. But anyway, we'll see, dude. I'm excited, but no. So Shark, I right at the beginning of the show, so you probably missed it. I will not be getting a 9 Fold Pro, Pro Fold, or Fold Pro, or whatever the fuck it's
The
called.
mouthful it is.
That name
The 9 Pro
sucks.
Fold.
Google that name's shit. Just call it the Fold 2, Pixel Fold 2.
Yeah. Yep. Absolutely.
Just quit. Just stop. It's just stupid. Anyway, no. So AT&T is not carrying the phone. I was considering upgrading the when I could upgrade early on the Fold 5, and I was thinking about if they come out with the Fold 9, the second iteration of the Fold, I would maybe consider trading this in and getting the Fold just so I can see foldable from the Pixel side of things. AT&T is not carrying it that I haven't seen. I went on their website as of yesterday, and they have the 9, the 9 Pro, and the 9 Pro XL. They do not have the 9 Pro Fold. It's not there. So for me, that's going to be a no because I'm not going to go and trade a bunch of phones in to try to get a Fold and pay $1,000. It's not that important. So no, unfortunately, since there is no upgrade path through AT&T, and actually okay because I'm kind of looking to get away from having installments on phones. I'm trying to just honestly, I want to go to Mint Mobile as I had them before when I was trying to try. I tried it out, see if just actually was trying to see if it would work in near my home. But
Barry
also too,
it to you, wasn't it?
yeah, and it was really good. And I just, and then I thought, and for some reason, I still Gigi sent me that Find N, and I couldn't get it to work. I'm like, she works fine. I couldn't get it to work on Mint Mobile. I even tried, I even opened up an account with T-Mobile, and just thought, well, maybe I'll try a straight T-Mobile account. I still couldn't get the goddamn thing to work at my house. It would work at my parents' house, but not here. So no, for me, I will not be getting the Pro Fold, and honestly,
I won't be. No.
I will tell you this. I know this is going to surprise a lot of people, but I think the Fold 5 is probably going to be my last foldable. I would probably go back to, yeah, I don't use it. I'll just keep the Fold 5 until I pay it off, and then I'll just use it until it just doesn't work anymore. I'm ready to be done with it. But I noticed that I don't use my Fold as much. But
I think you will trade that in for something eventually.
Well, it won't be on AT&T. It won't be for the Fold 9. They're not carrying it, and I think that's kind of scary because that's telling me that already here it is that AT&T is already getting away from the foldables already. Because
What about the other major players? Like, are they stocking?
I didn't look at T-Mobile's web. I don't have a T-Mobile. I guess anybody who has T-Mobile, if they were looking for it, can they in the chat or look it up and see? I don't know. Later in the year,
Here in the UK, I think
it's possible. It's possible, but think about it, Luis. But why strike when the fire is cold? At that point, nobody's going to be thinking about a fold. At that point, it's like, why wouldn't you want to get it out there when it's hot and fresh and it's new and everybody wants to buy it? They could decide later in the year, but AT&T doesn't do that. Usually, whatever phones they have at launch, like the iPhone series or the Pixels or the Samsungs, that's what they're going to have. They don't come like 6 months later and go, oh, we've decided we're going to carry the 9 Fold Pro. Right? They don't do that. I've been an AT&T customer for a long time. I don't see them doing that on these phones. It's possible, but I highly doubt it. I just don't think they're carrying it. I think they're going to carry the Fold 6. And for me, the Fold 6 actually looks like a pretty good phone, but it's not worth an upgrade to me. And
year on year, it's never worth it.
Yeah, and let's see. Michael says, I can understand AT&T's rationale. Less than 1% of the market buys a foldable, and it's even. Yeah. Again, my commentary, Michael, it has nothing to do with the fact that I think AT&T is outside of their bounds here. I don't disagree with AT&T's rationale here. I actually kind of agree with it. Unfortunately, for me though, it's going to be like, and AT&T's kind of like that. They're the ones that kind of are really weird about that. And he says, I believe that Verizon and T-Mobile are still okay. Well, I get it. So I'm not hacking on AT&T for this. It's not a bad business move. It's just, for me, it kind of threw me under the bus because I was actually really looking forward to trying the 9 Fold, and I'm not switching. So I'm just going to have to kind of wait.
It's kind of a shame because I would have liked to have seen your experience with that. Yeah.
Yeah. AT&T I don't disagree with them, and I wouldn't want to be in the whole AT&T. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. And that's why part of the reason why, Michael, I'm kind of like, just going to keep paying off the Fold 5 and kind of walk away from all of it.
How's their trading, so AT&T?
My experience with them has been mixed. So the trade, Becky got a great deal on her when we did her, when we traded in the 8 Pro, her iPhone 8 Pro for the 8 Pro Max. She had a red one for the 12. She only paid like 12 quid a month for and it was nuts, right? That was a phone.
That's airtime and phone.
Yeah, it was everything, right? It was really good deal. And she just paid that off. So we're actually thinking about I think we need to upgrade her phone. I think she's waiting for the 16. I think she's going to but I'm trying to get her to get to a 16 Pro because she was trying to take some photos, and we were on the gondola. Remember, I was showing you pictures of that, and I was getting to do the panorama, and it has a video. The Pixel's just crushing all these photos as far as capability, right, and things. And her iPhone 12's taking pretty good pictures, but it just doesn't have the feature set. And she looks at me and she goes, yeah, fuck your Pixel. So she'll probably get an iPhone 16. I want her to get the Pro because she does take a lot of photos, and I want her to have a better. I don't want her to be hamstrung and thinking, well, it's more money. I don't want to spend all the money. I really think she should get the Pro. They have a 16 Pro. I think she should get that. And it's a good phone. I like her 12. Dude, like I said, everybody gets all pissed off at me. I have an iPhone. I like using it. I just don't care. The hardware is great. I just don't care for the software. So we'll see. But
said, though, I don't care for that aesthetic. I don't really. So everyone's loving the Pixel, but I actually
cool. Look at Luis. Luis doing God's work today. He went on T-Mobile and checked, and yes, they do have the Pro 9 Fold, 9 Pro Fold 9 for $495, whatever the fuck. I'm never gonna like that name. I can't figure it out. 9 Pro Fold. Damn, I hate that name. God, it's terrible. Anyway, so can't believe it's been 13 years since Tim Cook took over CEO. Yeah, well,
13 years, yeah.
I didn't know he's been the CEO for 13 years. It means Jobs has been dead for at least 13 years. Okay. Well, yeah, I mean, it sounds like a good gig. I mean, definitely under his leadership, Apple is a $1 trillion valuated company, so. And now it has that to do with Tim Cook? I don't know. Maybe they already kind of basically were kind of moving towards that momentum-wise, and anybody running that shit was going to basically make it a $1 trillion company. And that's possible. I don't know. So anyway, that's we'll have to wait and see. So I'm glad that Pixels are out. People who are reviewing them, her giving them mostly generally positive. Obviously, there's some things that they're, obviously the same kind of things they're talking about. But I think Steve Apple died. His brother Tim Apple took over. That's funny. Anyway, he died in 2011. Oh, okay.
2011.
Oh,
okay.
That's wow. It's 13 years ago. Yeah. So how do you think is Tim Cook going to take place? I know who's going to take his place. Who knows? I'm sure it'll be somebody inside of Apple already. I mean, I assume that they usually would probably promote from within. But you forget it. I don't use an iPhone. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so no, it'll be. I'm sure it'll be somebody inside of Apple. I can't imagine they would hire an outside CEO. We'll see. It's interesting, but obviously Apple's doing good. I mean, no shame in the game. So we'll see how that goes. Obviously, that event's coming up. We're going to have the iPhone 16s coming out and the new iOS 18. I believe it's 18, right? That's the new
18,
iOS.
Yeah, some beta already.
Yeah, so it'll be kind of cool. We'll have to kind of see how it goes. And, obviously those are going to be really good devices and they're going to be awesome and they'll sell a shit ton of them. And that's fine. And we might be one of the purchasers of an iPhone 16 Pro. So we'll see. It's kind of a shame, but we'll see how it goes. But AT&T, I think I think the Pro Fold for me is probably on no-go unless something magical happens. We'll see. Typing too fast without proving it. That's all good. I do it all the time. So
I do that every time.
I do it all the time. It's crazy. So anyway, Joe, I think we're at a little over an hour and 10 minutes. I think we're gonna wrap this show up.
Got to admit.
He's shattered. I don't know what that means. It must be some British talk for tired. Who knows? Anyway, so
if you got
Joe's
window,
knackered.
Right? You throw a stone at it would shatter, right?
I throw a stone. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Throw a stone at it.
Throw a stone in it.
It would shatter, wouldn't it?
Chicken and a carnacoch. Yeah, okay, great.
Anyway, no, it would be Scouser.
And not a Scouser. That's okay. I just think it's kind of funny. Anyway, so Joe's enjoying the phone. He'll hopefully give us some more content and maybe tell us thoughts. We'll have TK hopefully on next week.
Yes.
Hopefully that we can get that lined up, and that'll be great because we can pick his brain. I was so looking forward to talking to him today. We'll get to do that next Sunday. So make sure you come in next Sunday. We'll get us because you're here for us. Sort of. Anyway, and then you'll have TK. And he'll help make it a little more of a palatable show. And we always, like I said, I thank you everybody for coming on and being in the chat and being the awesome humans that you are. Joe and I, we talk during the week. We text back and forth. We are absolutely amazed and honored and blessed to have all the people that come on the show every Sunday and then make comments and all these kind of things. It's just, I understand it's not a million people. But honestly, it's part of the reason why I continue to do the show. And me and Joe really enjoy doing the show because we just generally like each other's company. We like talking about phones. We enjoy the conversations and that kind of thing. But for everybody here in the chat, for all yous we've been on this for a couple of years now. I mean, probably almost 4.
We're still going.
The fact that everybody keeps coming back and showing up and making comments and always giving us a little bit of fun, like a DJ likes to make fun of me being old, and just the fact that you guys contribute and make comments and show up and listen to this, it really makes me happy, and I really appreciate everybody doing those kind of things. It makes me happy. It really does, and so we enjoy bringing it to you. And sometimes our shows are great. Sometimes they don't land as well, but that's okay. We try to do the best.
We're only human. We do our best.
But anyways, you guys take care of yourselves. Enjoy your tech. Don't be a dick. And we will see you next Sunday with the man TK Bay. We will listen to it. Make sure that you're ready. We are on the show so you can make sure you have questions for TK or chats because we love all that stuff. When we get a gust, we like that engagement too, and we know you guys will show up for that. So anything else, Joe, before we sign off for this Sunday?
No, I think we're good, mate.
All right, man. For Joe, for Sam, we love you guys. Take care of yourselves. Enjoy your tech. We'll see you next Sunday on the Nomad Tech Project. Tell your friends. Let them know that this is the most awesomest show in the history of all the shows. And we'll never go in the show hole on you. We love you. We'll keep you out of the show hole. We'll be here forever and definitely next Sunday. Take care, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Bye-bye.